Hey guys, it's Saru, and this is going to be the very first video of this year, and I thought I would start it off with World of Jade Dynasty. So hopefully this will answer the question that I keep getting on a weekly basis, whether it's in the comments or in private messages, about what game I'm more excited for and what's my next MMO. And it's going to be this, World of Jade Dynasty. So I did talk about this game in the past, and I did say that I would make a video that would be kind of extensive, and this video is going to be that, but the goal is to not make the video very long because I know people get bored, so I'm just going to give you guys some information that we already know, some gameplay, some footage, and all that stuff, and yeah, we're going to see what it's all about. So, let's get right into it. So before I do begin, I want to thank two people, mostly Tora, because Tora has been absolutely amazing in collecting a lot of the information that was for World of Jade Dynasty. We first met on Swords of Legends Online, we became guildmates, and it's been really cool. Secondly, I do want to thank Evo for being absolutely amazing and being hyped for this game as well, collecting some information, and a lot of the videos you're going to see from here are actually sourced from Evo, which they got from either billybilly.com or other websites or themselves. So thank you guys for all that, for your vast amount of information on World of Jade Dynasty. Okay, so let's get started. So assuming you haven't seen my last video, which was maybe like 2 years ago, I'm not too sure to be perfectly honest. I did talk about World of Jade Dynasty and I did say what it's about. It's pretty much a sequel to Jade Dynasty, which was a successful MMORPG back in the day, and this is going to be a little more bigger, I guess you can say. So right off the bat, this is going to be an Unreal Engine 5 MMORPG. It has action combat, it has the Holy Trinity system, so that does mean it has tanks, it has healers and DPS. It has 5 classes currently, which are not gender locked, except for the Ling Shi. Going deeper into the classes themselves, each class has 2 customizable specs, which is something that we're seeing more and more often. We do see it now, especially more vastly with Ashes of Creation, for example, but we did see this on other games such as Swords of Legends Online, where one class could become one of 2 subclasses. So World of Jade Dynasty is aiming for a completely visually seamless open world. This means a complete open world that has no loading screens whatsoever, but that's only in the open world. When it comes to dungeons, of course, you're going to be loading in or in raids. There will be a main player hub with class zones. Now, if you were like me and you were very disappointed that Swords of Legends Online was shutting down, but at the same time, you were not really that surprised, so some of the people that worked on Solo actually came to work on World of Jade Dynasty, and vice versa actually. So you will see a lot of similarities in the art, in a lot of the class zones, and the main player hub. But again, if you were someone that really loved Solo like I did, and you kind of really wanted to get that Unreal Engine 4 update that was supposed to happen but never did, this might be the alternative for you guys. So I know the big question is, what's going on with PvE? Is it open world PvP? What's going on? This is going to be an open world PvE game, but there are PvP systems. There will be PvP in large scales, such as Guild Wars and stuff like that, as well as 3v3s and 5v5 arenas. With the PvE, it's more open world. You have lots of dungeons, you have raids, you have bounties, world bosses, public events, and of course, creatures out in the open that you can go and kill. There will be fishing, gathering, crafting, collections, achievements, mini games, building relationships with NPCs. Again, a lot of this is similar to Solo in that sense, because you create that relationship with the NPC, you can end up getting a lot of benefits from that. Apparently, the developers of World of Jade Dynasty have made it a point to make it an extensive cosmetic cash shop with a complete wardrobe system, which will include clothing dye, fabric customization, seasonal cosmetic rewards, and so on and so forth. But what's really cool about this is I know people are going to be saying, but do we know if that's coming to the West? So we are not 100% sure. Let's be honest. I have no idea. I don't have inside source whatsoever. However, after looking at the files themselves with the localization files of the game, it did have localization for English and a couple other languages, and ultimately Jade Dynasty was self-published. It continues to be self-published, and these are pretty much the same developers as Jade Dynasty, so chances are that it's going to be self-published and it's going to be available globally. Mind you, this name is controversial. Some people like them, some people don't, but one thing that does stand true to time, at least with them, is that their games stick around. Let me just list some off. Perfect World, Swordsman Online, Forsaken World, Magic Legends, Jade Dynasty, Neverwinter, Remnant from the Ashes, Star Trek Online, and of course, Subnautica. Now again, when we look at their previous games, sometimes we kind of do synonymous with some bad cash ops decisions, but it seems they've been wanting to change that and their image for a while. Plus, at this point, I don't know, I just really want a fun game. Regardless, if everything that they're promising seems to be true, it's gonna be pretty damn good. Now, the one thing that I'm really fascinated with is that they did have their first alpha back in August 2022. This was pretty much when they were doing Unreal Engine 4, which was the original engine for World of Jade Dynasty. Eventually, around July of 2023, they did announce that there was going to be an Unreal Engine 5 changeover. And back in October 2023, the vice president of Perfect World Games did talk about global release distribution and how everything was going to work out with the game itself. So fast forward a little bit, towards the end of December of 2023, that's when their first beta took place, and apparently it was pretty damn good. Enough so that, again, what interested me in this case, during the beta, every single issue, no matter how small, no matter how large or whatever, the developer was consistently speaking and communicating with the players, consistently updating the game during the beta, which usually is not something that you see because that means a lot more work. But they were really interested, they kept fixing things, they kept updating things, they were listening to player feedback, and that's not something you get often. At the end of the day, the game could be absolutely amazing, and it looks absolutely amazing. I think this is a type of MMO that I need, it's a type of MMO that I've been wanting, and it's something that maybe I needed to play solo to be prepared for. And I'm really excited to try it out when it does come out here in the western regions. And again, like I said, if it somehow does become pay to win at some point, at this point, I just want to play a fun MMORPG. Like, I'm not even competitive anymore. I just don't have the time in my life anymore. Regardless, since the beta, every single time they've had a dev diary that's just speaking about the dungeons, speaking about fashion accessories, talking about the closed beta performances and how they can make things better. And again, that's not something that you usually see from a big developer. You see this a lot with indie developers, but not often do you see it with a big developer. So I wonder if this is going to be a shift and change. All I know is that I'm pretty excited for this. I'm still a little cautious. I don't want to be too optimistic and then something happens and it just never comes out. But regardless, I'm very excited for this game. It does look like something I would really enjoy, and hopefully it lives up to the hype. I'm trying not to get hyped. I'm just hyped that it exists, but I'm not hyping myself up to be disappointed, I guess. So there's a fine line there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to join my Discord. All of the information for World of Jade Dynasty is there. Again, thanks to Tora and Evo. There's also a fan Discord. I think Evo created that and it's available. I'm sure they can invite you once you're in the Discord. So yeah, let me know what you guys think and we'll talk about it in the comments below. Alright guys, thanks for watching.